What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dio, aka Mons Tech Reviews, with my official review of the Apple iPhone SE. Now off top, we're gonna talk about what SE means, and SE stands for Special Edition. Alright, so it wasn't that hard to figure out, but it's Special Edition. Alright, so real quick, let me show you what comes in the box. You get the phone, of course. You get the booklets. You get some earbuds, charging brick, charging cable, lightning cable. So that's what you get. Nothing different, nothing spectacular, but that's what you get. Alright, so we're gonna file that to the side and move on. We're gonna move on. Okay, get rid of this. Don't need this right now. Okay, so first off, you know we always start with the price. So the price of this thing right here is $400. So you're gonna pay $400, and this is for, actually, you're gonna pay $400 for the 16 gigabyte model. Which anybody who ever had a 16 gigabyte iPhone, you know off top that 16 gigabytes ain't enough to wipe your ass with. So never get the 16 gigabyte model, ever get the 16 gigabyte model. So this comes in the 64 and the 16. Now this is the 64. 64 is gonna run you $500. So it's gonna run you $500 to get the 64 gigabyte. Get the 64 gigabyte. It's definitely worth it instead of getting a 16. Definitely. I'm trying to tell y'all, get the 64. Alright. Now you can get this at all the major carriers, your AT&T, your Verizon, your Sprint, and your T-Mobile. I got the Verizon variant. But you know, Verizon don't put no branding on their phone or on the iPhones, you know, so you just gonna take my word for it. But as a matter of fact, I can show you right there. It's right there where it says Verizon. Alright. So the screen size is a whopping 4 inches. So I'm gonna compare. I'm gonna give you a little quick comparison. I'm gonna break out the S7 Edge, which is I think 5.5, and look at the difference. Look at the difference. You know what I mean? This is edge to edge, of course, but I mean it's a behemoth, David and Goliath here. All right. But 4 inches of screen, Retina display, 1136 by 640 pixel resolution, and 321 ppi. So all y'all into them specs like that, there you go. The screen resolution is 1136 by 640. Colors that it comes in, rose gold. And all you saying, you know, I bought this for my son. Why I get the rose gold? He wanted the rose gold, so I got him the rose gold. Comes in rose gold, space gray, silver, and gold. 4 different color variants. The OS is iOS 9.3. Internal memory, I told you, it comes in the 16 and the 64. No 128, which, you know what I mean, you figure you get a special edition. This is the SE. This is the special edition. Why no 128? You know, so no 128 gigabyte RAM, 2 gigabytes of RAM in here. Chipset is an A9 chipset, 64-bit architecture, embedded M9 motion code processor. All right, the camera, your rear camera, right here.
Darrell.
What?
Can I come in the room?
No.
Come on, man.
The rear camera is 12 megapixels. So 12 megapixel rear camera, and then the front facing camera, you got a 1.2 megapixel camera. Now again, special edition. Special edition. So why does a special edition have a 1.2 front facing camera? I don't know, but you know, Apple does what they want to do. Like, you know, most of the big heavy hitters and, you know, the big carriers and shit like that. I mean, the big companies who make these devices do what they want to do. Video, you can shoot 4K 3840 by 2160, and that's at 30 frames per second. You could do 1080p HD at 30 frames or 60 frames per second, and 720 HD at 30 frames per second. Slow-mo, you can shoot slow-mo video in here, 1080p at 120 frames per second, or 720p at 240 frames per second. Equipped with Apple Pay. Battery is a non-removable, of course. 1642 milliamp battery. Fingerprint sensor is in effect, so you see fingerprint sensor is in there. And I showed you what comes in the box. So down to the nitty gritty, Apple is really marketing this phone to replace the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5C. They're marketing this phone to replace those phones. Now, if anybody who's had the 5S, you know that this phone is identical, like the same thing. It looks like the same thing. It has the same body, the exact same body. I think it might be like 0.04 difference in the width, something like that. It's something small, real minuscule. But the thing that is different in here is you got the iPhone 5S body, but you got the iPhone 6S internal stuff. Like most of the guts from the iPhone 6S is the same stuff that's in here, which, you know, that's kind of can make a special edition. But they forgot a few things. A couple things ain't as great. You know, the front facing camera is horrible. So if you're gonna be, you know, doing the selfies, you're gonna be disappointed, because your selfie gonna make you look like, you know, it ain't gonna be that great. And definitely in low light, selfie's not gonna be great in low light. But like I said, it gives you all the functions of the iPhone 6S, iPhone 6S Plus, all those, basically the same functions. Talk time on here is up to 14 hours on 3G. Internet use, they say you can get 12 hours on 3G, 13 hours on LTE, 13 hours on Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? So you can get all that. If you on the internet heavy, video playback, it says you can get up to 13 hours of video playback. Audio playback, you can get up to 50 hours of audio playback. Standby time is up to 10 days. So anybody who knows what standby time is when you just sit your phone somewhere and you don't touch it. And anybody who's at the Apple, you know, most times that they're good for standby time. So you set your phone on the dresser and you fall asleep, and then your phone's on, you know, 38%. When you wake up, your phone's probably gonna be on 37, 36%. But if this is an Android and you went to sleep when your phone was on 37%, you gonna wake up and your phone gonna be at like 2%. Android and them apps and all that stuff. So that's where iPhone is good, you know, because the standby time. But I mean, they got a whole bunch of other things too. But I'm gonna get into the phone a little bit, show you a little bit of it. Now, like I said, I told you that they have most of the things that the iPhone 6S has, but it doesn't have all of the things that the iPhone 6S has. And for is Force Touch. So I don't have no apps on here because I just got it. I didn't download too many apps on here. But if you wanted to go and you know, Force Touch your pictures, you can't do it. You know what I mean? So Force Touch is not available on here, but Live Photos is. So if you wanted to so I'm gonna take a photo, use the front facing, so you see me right here. You see that right there? Took the photo. Now go to my photos and you click it. You see Live Photos is working. You know what I mean? So the Live Photos is active on here. Like I said, it's the same design. as the 5S. So the power button up here, camera on the back, flash on the back, camera, flash, speaker, power button, fingerprint sensor, which the fingerprint sensor is not the newest. My bad. The fingerprint sensor is not the newest. It's actually the older model of the fingerprint sensor, the previous model. You got the 3.5mm jack. You got your speakers at the bottom. You got your lightning cable right here. Like I said, power button up top. Cameras on the back. This is your silence button to you know, mute it. Volume up and down. You know what I mean? Nothing on the right side of the phone. So, like I said, everything in here is basically the same. There's not too much difference. So, in my opinion, is this phone, would I get this phone? Should you get this phone? That's the question. Should you get this phone? And my opinion is, if you have an iPhone 5S, you have an iPhone 5C, you have anything lower than those phones, definitely get this, because it's an upgrade. If you have any other iPhone up higher than that, if you have an iPhone 6 or above, stay away from this. If you like big phones, stay away from this. Like, this phone is, it's this small, you know what I mean? It's twiddle. This phone is twiddle. So if you like big phones, stay away from this phone. If you want all the heavy hitter specs in a small phone, definitely cop this, because the majority of the shit inside this phone is the stuff that you get in the iPhone 6S. You know what I mean? So if you like the iPhone 6S but you just think it's a little too big, definitely grab one of these joints. I don't think it's definitely not worth it. Like I told y'all before, if you gonna get the 16GB, don't even get the phone. You know what I mean? Save up for another month, put another 100 on it, get the 64. Never get the 16GB. 16GB is horrible. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing with 16GB. And if you had a 16GB iPhone SE, I'd advise you to upgrade then, because 16, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. 2-3 pictures. Another thing is this phone worth 500 bucks? 400, 500 bucks? To me, no. It's not worth 400, 500 bucks. Just for the simple fact is, for 400, 500 bucks, you can get last year's flagship model phone for 400, 500 bucks. You can get a Nexus 6P for 400, 500 bucks. You know what I mean? And that's a heavy hitter. 5.7 screen. But if you're not into Android, then you know what I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But even if you're not into Android, even if you wanted an Apple, you could still get an iPhone 6 for 400, 500 bucks. So, in my opinion, no, I wouldn't pay 400, 500 bucks for this. And I know y'all probably saying, well, you got the phone, so how, you know, you saying you wouldn't pay. But listen, there was an upgrade for my son, my 10-year-old, who had an iPhone 5C. So yeah, this is an upgrade for him, you know. But in normal circumstances, if it was my phone, and you know, and I just wanted to buy another phone to have, this wouldn't be it. Because I can get more phones, better specs, better size, better quality. I love the build. I wish they would bring the build back. You know what I mean? If they made the iPhone 7 with the square build was the best build iPhone to me. The round iPhones I don't really dig. I love the square build on the iPhones. But like I said, this phone is not worth getting if you know, just now getting a phone, you just trying to get a new phone, or you know what I mean, any other way, unless you were upgrading from the 4, the 5S, the 5C, which, like I said, really, if my son didn't want an Apple, I would have just got him, you know, like a brand new Android phone. It would have been a lot cheaper. It would have been, it had better specs. I could have got him that, but he was hell bent on the iPhone, so we got him the iPhone. And I didn't want to get him the 6 because I didn't think, you know, he was responsible enough for the 6, even though I could have got it for around the same price. I could have got it for around the same price, but I feel like my son, my 10-year-old, he's a little iffy far as keeping stuff in good tech, good shape. So that's why I decided to go with this one, because if he breaks it, I'm gonna be pissed, but you know, I'm not gonna be crying, because you know, we out of however, you know, $800 or whatever. So so like I said, this right here is this is Apple's way of trolling all the Apple fanboys and all the Apple people, because you give somebody a pocket-sized phone with all the new features, but in the old body. All you did was recycle this body. You didn't change the body up any, you know, nothing's different. You give them a recycled phone with a shitty front-facing camera, and not even all of the features, because you know, they recycled it so much, they you know, dumbed it down in the size. You know, you can't even put everything that's in the 6S and 6S Plus and all that inside of this phone. So you couldn't even give them Force Touch, you know what I mean, which is one of the new hottest features on the iPhone. You couldn't even give them the Force Touch, so you stuck with, you know what I mean, with no Force Touch, but on a brand new iPhone. So Apple, thanks for trolling. You know, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I like Samsung better. You know, anybody who know me, I have had a few Apples, but this does not meet the special edition standards. You're lacking in many places. You're lacking, and this is just another way that these companies put out these phones, and people spend millions and millions and millions. They make billions off of these phones. And this is the bullshit that we gotta stop, because you know, we buy these phones and there's nothing new about this phone. There's nothing hot about this phone. There's nothing, you know, electrifying about this phone. It's not a flagship phone. It's not a top dog phone. It's not nothing. It's just an old recycled phone with new features. But we accept that. And that's why these companies do what they want to do. Same with Samsung. You know, I'm a Samsung Knight, you know. But they do what they want to do because we accept it. And we accept shit like this, you know what I mean? But it's just my personal opinion. You know, they give you the fingerprint sensor. They give you all the other stuff, man. And I mean, and I'm not talking about the camera, you know, because we know they went from, you know, Samsung goes from 16 megabyte megabyte camera, they go from a 16 megapixel camera to like a 12 megapixel, but then they add the image optical image stabilization, which changes the game. So you can't talk about the camera. I'm just talking about design and all that. Like, you're supposed to be, you know, innovating and, you know, mind-boggling, but you know, you come out with the same old design, which is some new guts, you know what I mean? So it is, I mean, we accept it, you know, we accept it as consumers. We accept this. So they're gonna keep putting out shit like this. All the major companies gonna keep putting it out like that. But I've been rambling on, you know what I mean? I gave you my review. It's up to you if you decide to get this iPhone SE, and if you know, decide to drop the 500 or the 400 on it. But if you like this video, click that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, definitely subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all my social media sites. My Snapchat is off the Yazaball. It's off the Yazaball. My Facebook's hitting. My gram is booming. You know, like AB, like Antonio Brown. How's business? Business is booming. You know what I mean? But hit me on all of my social media sites. Leave a comment if you want to leave a comment. Hit me up if you got this phone and you like this phone and you think that I'm wrong about this being a top dog or being a nice phone or whatever. Then hit me up and we can have a little discussion on it. But it's your boy DOAKABONDS. We out to the next one, baby. Deuces.